Welcome to the Rent to Rent Success podcast, the only podcast entirely dedicated to helping you achieve rent to rent success. We talk about the ethical way to get you started in property without buying it. This is our place to inspire each other to believe bigger, to be bolder, and to be game changers for good. Property investors and sisters Stephanie and Nicky Taylor are your guides on this exciting ride. Let's start up the engines and get ready to fly. Hello. It's Stephanie here. Welcome to episode 17 of Ask the Angels, where we answer your rent-to-rent questions. If you'd like to have your question answered, go to renttosuccess.com/ask and record your question for me to answer for you here. Today, we have had a question from Trey, which is about how to find HMOs in Article 4 areas. So I'm going to read out Trey's question. Hi, Steph. Big fan of the podcast, and I've been listening more and more. But a lot of the main cities and areas are now Article 4 areas. Most, if not all of the cities I've looked at have Article 4 in place. I'm struggling to find HMOs that were HMOs before Article 4. And I was wondering, how do you find these goldmine HMOs that were HMOs before Article 4 came in? So this is such a good question. And I know that not knowing how to find these HMO properties in Article 4 areas really does stop people from getting started. So let's dive in to the answer. Before I begin answering, you might be asking, well, what is Article 4? Article who? What is that? So Article 4 is a direction under Article 4 of the General Permitted Development Order, which enables councils to remove some permitted development rights. What Article 4 means in plain English is that now a planning application has to be submitted to the relevant council to change a house to an HMO, even for 3 or 4 people, which under the national legislation wouldn't require planning. So many people use Article 4 as an excuse not to get started. They think that if you can't create new HMOs easily, then you can't do rent-to-rent in that area. We have a successful rent-to-rent business in an Article 4 equivalent area. And because we focus on existing HMOs, it doesn't stop us. And this is where Trey's question comes in, because how do you find those existing HMOs in an Article 4 area? And the answer is that it's one of the amazing things about rents to rent as a business, is that we have access to the addresses of all HMOs in any given council area in the UK. The HMO landlord list is available from the council for each area. It's in law that each council needs to produce a public list of HMOs within that area, and you can ask the council for that list. A little warning though, HMOs can be slippery. Sorry, not HMOs can be slippery, councils can be slippery. And they won't always willingly provide you access to their HMO public register, even though they have a legal obligation to do so. The legislation does not stipulate the format the council needs to give you the register in. Their legal obligation only extends to making it available to you. So some councils will provide an extract on request. Others have made it available online. Others may say they will not provide a physical or electronic copy, but you can photograph the data at their council offices. Don't take no for an answer though. This is public information, and it's not for councils themselves to decide who is and who isn't worthy. Any member of the public can have access to this information. If you're in Kickstarter program, the templates that have been effective in changing a no to a yes, these remind councils of their specific obligations under the legislation. So you'll see these in M3.4. We've got the council HMO department contact details list. And then we've also got the HMO landlord list initial request template. If they come back with a no, there's another template, which is a pushback request, which goes even further into the law. And then once you've got your HMO landlord list, we've got another explanation which explains how to use the data to send out your landlord letters automatically. We talk about that in another podcast episode. So in summary, Trey, you find out where the existing HMOs are using the council HMO list. So I hope that was helpful for you. Do let me know. And if you've got a question, do go to renttorentsuccess.com/ask, ASK, and ask your question there. You can record an audio for me. And if you're new with us today and you'd like to learn more about Rent to Rent, check out our free Rent to Rent guide. That's a booklet. And then you've also got our Rent to Rent masterclass, which is a 90-minute video where you can see the before and afters of property and the fundamentals of Rent to Rent success. So you can get all that at renttorentsuccess.com/guide. That's all for now. I'll see you next time. See you soon.
Thank you so much for being with me here today. If you would like more, we've written the #1 best-selling book on Rent to Rent. You can find it at renttorentsuccess.com/book. Reviewers on Amazon have described it as the best Rent to Rent HMO book and also as a definitive reference guide and inspirational. Take your next step today and buy the book. You can find it at rentsuccess.com/book. And I'll see you again next time. Until then, remember, believe bigger, be bolder, be a game changer.